The Liverpool striker Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva attended their funerals today in their hometown in Portugal. Family members and leading football figures were seen attending the church service as hundreds gathered outside to pay their respects. The brothers died in a car crash in Spain on Thursday. The 28-year-old footballer had married his long-term partner just 11 days before the crash. Joe Inwood reports.
It was a small, private funeral for a very public figure. Diogo Jota and his brother Andre were laid to rest at a church in the small Portuguese town where they grew up and where they began their footballing careers. The family had asked for privacy, but still the crowds came to pay their respects, wearing shirts and scarves of the clubs and country the brothers had represented with such dedication. While it was a private family funeral, there were friends and colleagues too. Bernardo Silva played with Diogo Jota for Portugal, while Roberto Martinez managed the side. While Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk and left-back Andy Robertson arrived with two wreaths, one with 20, Diogo Jota shirt number, and the other with 30, worn by his younger brother. As the coffins arrived, there was a ripple of applause outside the Igreja Matriz de Gondomar. The brothers were driving through northern Spain in the early hours of Thursday morning when their car reportedly suffered a blowout, overturned and burst into flames. Both were pronounced dead at the scene. They were returning from what should have been a perfect summer for Diogo Jota. 11 days before, he had married his long-term partner and the mother of their three children, Ruth Cardoso. On social media, he had said it was a day we will never forget. He had also won the Nations League with Portugal and the Premier League with Liverpool. On the day he lifted the trophy, he explained how much it meant.
Us, as well as players, we wanted to make it happen. It's a great effort from everybody in the club, and it's a moment to cherish forever.
And today, in his adopted city, people continued to lay flowers and share their memories.
The legacy he leaves is, I think, that he had a spirit, joy, humility, kindness, youth, everything that was effervescent. I think that's why it's so impactful.
Wonderful player, loved by all. Brilliant husband, father, son, player, teammate.
Back in Gondomar, as the service finished, the two brothers' coffins were carried for a private burial. Two men of such promise, carried by friends and family. But they did not walk alone. Joe Inwood, BBC News.
Our reporter Phil McCann has been following fan reaction at Anfield to today's events.
There has been a constant stream since the early part of the morning of people coming down here, just wanting to be with each other here. So many people who we've spoken to have talked about how it feels like they've lost a family member, that real sense of grief. And so many people who are parents telling me that their children are having their first sense of loss, if you like. Lots and lots of upset people here today across the generations. We've seen lots of older people here who've clearly been supporting the Reds for decades, but then also lots and lots of younger fans. In fact, a bit earlier on, the kind of middle of the morning, we saw lots of younger boys, kind of 8, 9, 10 years old, all in football shirts, who'd all clearly come here after Saturday morning football training or Saturday morning football games, and they'd been brought here as a group to come and see this huge display of grief and affection for Diogo Jota. These flowers and cards and shirts and scarves, they stretch the entire length of the main stand here outside Anfield. Lots of them referencing the number 20, his shirt number, saying forever 20, and an awful lot of them, of course, as you would imagine, given that this is Liverpool, saying you'll never walk alone, that club anthem that takes on extra poignancy at this time. And worth saying as well, there are lots of tributes we know left outside Molineux, the home ground of Wolverhampton Wanderers, where Diogo Jota played before he came here to Anfield in 2020. This is a city where football is like a family, and therefore that's why so many people here today are saying it feels like they've lost a brother or a son.
And it's important for Liverpool to have shown support for Diogo Jota. We saw the club's top players and its manager attend the funeral service.
Yes, of course, they were there this morning. We also know that some of the pre-season medical checks here at Anfield have been cancelled, and there's going to be a phased return to training. And we heard, we've heard over the last few days, tributes from his Liverpool teammates. We heard from Mohamed Salah, somebody who he's been sharing a pitch with for the last few years, talking about how he was even got scared to return to Anfield after what had happened. We saw some of the Liverpool players coming down here yesterday to lay tributes, and all eyes will be on them, of course, over the next few days, over the next few weeks, as they try to get back to training and preparing for the next season in a way that none of them thought they would be. Lots of questions for this club, which are really questions for tomorrow, of course, about how the team will cope and how Jota will be replaced. But those really are questions for tomorrow, questions that some people here have been debating with each other. But today is, of course, a day to reflect on the funeral, on what's been happening many miles away from here in Portugal.
Phil McCann reporting there.